Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, cool. So I kind of want to be as efficient as possible, as quick as possible, um, because on Monday mornings I spend hours going through all the emails, and usually I'm caught up. But yesterday was our daughter's christening, so I really had no ability to do anything yesterday. In fact, when we got back from the christening, I tried to get on the computer, but our children, they just think Sunday's for them, which is fine. Because I don't know how to tell like a 14-month-old or like a 2-month-old, hey, listen, kick rocks while I'm over here. And that's okay. And I think we all understand that. So I just get up a little bit earlier on Monday. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Brian. And go through the emails, especially when I wasn't able to get through the emails yesterday. So I'm a little bit behind, 17 months, whatever. So I'm a little bit behind. And RHINOHUB is at 11 o'clock, so I have to go ahead and make sure to prepare for that. Okay. So what do I want to get to? So a couple of things. One, our email, Happy President's Day. Oh yeah, Happy President's Day. Yeah, that's why the stock market's not open today. So in the email today, I hope everyone had noticed that, and again, we cite the email open numbers and we lag it by 7 days because again, the amount of people that open an email day one is different than the amount of people open it by day 7. And we want to give an accurate depiction of how many people open each email. So to give it a week's worth of time just is fair. And what you'll find is, hey, Deborah, what you'll find is 7 days ago was the first time that RHINO daily opens have exceeded 10,000. And actually between you and I, so that day we sent out 2 emails. I didn't look at which ones they were, but I remember we sent an email. I think we sent an email at 8 a.m. and then another one at 4 p.m. because I think it was something to do with RHINOHUB. Again, I didn't look at them, but I remember doing that. And so when I was posting the numbers this morning, what I didn't post was that we sent 2 emails that day. Each one of them were over 10,000 opens, because I think that's just a misleading number. But so if I posted, we went from 8,000 opens to 20,000 opens, and then tomorrow back down to 10,000, that's a little bit too much volatility in the numbers. So I didn't do it. But that's not to be confused with that 20,000 opens happened 7 days ago. And of course, most of them were probably the same people. But if you had to go ahead and give me the opens of the first email and the second email and don't give me any duplicates, probably around 11, 12,000. So I think that's fair, which is really cool. Secondly, I had an email from a gentleman that's been with RHINO for a long time, and he hasn't been following up. And that's not bad on him. He just hadn't been following up. So he saw the price and he's like, wait a second, I thought RHINO was going to keep going up every day. I was hopeful that it'd be 3 by March. Just kind of fill me in with what's going on. I haven't really read all the emails. In which case I had the opportunity to share with the gentleman that yes, we were planning on RHINO to go up, a cent every day, and we still are. But what we found was that when we went ahead and hit a bit of a plateau, it was the fact that our members started kind of feeling the anxiety of peak performance, which we felt as well. You see, you can't go through life with your head in the ground thinking that like everything's okay, and then a lion eats you and you're like, oh, I'm dead, so what am I gonna do? What we found was the individuals of RHINO, the partners, the members, everyone that's on this call has a trust for RHINO. We've all been there together, so we've all had an experience and a relationship together, which allowed all of us to go ahead and participate with a certain sense of things are going to be okay. Well, that's not a feeling that's shared by newcomers that don't know who RHINO is, and especially not a feeling during, what was the firm FTX that blew up, and crypto this, and stock market that. It's not a feeling shared by those people, especially, and again, I can see the numbers, and we posted numbers, but I could see them a little bit more molecularly, what's the word? Molecularly, in the sense that I can see, all right, there's a lot of people that have scaled down. There's, some people that have gone from 500 to 100, and then there's people that have been at 500, now they're at like 10 or whatever the case may be. So I can see that the economy is actually giving a bit of a pinch to people too. There are people that are just sell for whatever reason. Like we had a sale of I think like 300 or 400 or 500, I don't even know, a couple of days ago. but I know who the seller was. In fact, our team worked directly with him to go ahead and facilitate that sale because he did not know how to sell. And Rhino's not going to sit there and say, well, this sale's really going to not be fun for us, so let's, make you suffer and make you figure it out yourself. No, in fact, our concierge team worked with him every single day to do everything that he needed to do because something with, I think it was the roof. I'm pretty sure it was the roof, something with the roof. And the gentleman needed the money. Okay, fine. Can we go ahead and assume everyone's going to have a bad roof? No, it is what it is. The person got the money. The individual that sold this morning, they've been selling quite consistently. It seems like they want to get back down to zero, and that's fine. If you want to be part of RHINO, great. If you don't want to be part of RHINO, fine. And the gentleman that sold today has 206 left, so I'm sure there'll be another 206 sale, and then we could say, okay, see you later. And the thing what I said in the email this morning was to the gentleman back, RHINO will never stop buying RHINO, right? Like all the money that comes into RHINO will always buy RHINO. You know what does stop? Selling. The individuals that are selling RHINO, guess what? They only have a finite amount. So when they're done selling RHINO, they move on. More so than that, the sales of RHINO are a direct function of the profit that these individuals have. Remember, RHINO was at 50 cents. We had a 2 or 3 week span where it was 50 cents before we went public. We went public at $1. We're still over $2. By any fair calculation, there's a good portion of people that are up 100%, even 120%. And remember, there were people selling at 240, 250, 260. So some people were up 300%. Well, guess what? When those sales are done, then the average price point of everyone. So say, for instance, before those sales, no one ever sold. Everyone owns it since 50 cents. Well, the average price point would be somewhere between 50 cents and $1 because no one ever sold and they own it from that low. Well, when those individuals sell, they're selling the ones that they have at 50 cents or $1 or $1.50, whatever the case may be, which means the market is a self-correcting mechanism in the sense that those that are looking to go ahead and take their profits are successfully doing so. And in doing so, it's raising the average price of the coin that's actually being owned and being held. And also, since we were 250, 260, there's also a good portion of people that own coin higher than where it is. Now, if you own coin at 50 cents and the thing is $2, are you more likely to sell? Yeah, you know what? I'm up 400%. Let me sell it. If you own coin at 250 and it's $2, are you more likely to sell? No, I'm down 20%. Let me just wait till it gets back up there. The point being, the market self-corrects. The people that are selling, the reasons that they're selling for naturally decline. Be that as it may, that only matters if the buying stays consistent. RHINO will always keep buying. So if you have someone that's always going to keep buying and then you're selling that naturally goes to zero because there's no more to sell, then any kind of pullback is a buying opportunity. Great. And I said to the gentleman that was emailing me, I said, I hope everyone sells. Well, I didn't say that, right? But he wants to go ahead and sell. He goes, hey, listen, I have some, I would like to sell, but I feel like if I don't know how the market would react if I sold it. I go, well, if you sold that amount in one stretch, the market would react quite negatively. And I go, you know what would happen? I would come out and buy all of it because I would be able to buy all this RHINO at such a cheap price that RHINO would stand to benefit and you wouldn't. In fact, you'd regret it. And I don't know how that's going to be perceived by the person, but that's just natural market mechanics. And the thing about RHINO is I'm so transparent. I'm going to tell you, like, that's what we're doing. Also in the email, what I had said to the gentleman was, when we realized that kind of that peak market anxiety was in the atmosphere, I have no qualms or feel bad to do the right thing. I don't feel that level of like, oh my God, some people are going to be upset with me today, but I'm making the right decision. So let me be upset about it. If I'm making the right decision, I'm making the right decision. And for the individuals that are in RHINO and want to be in RHINO for a long period of time, and the ones that we truly care about in terms of our partners, the ones that we will always protect, I will always do things in their interest because that allows a certain level of shareholder base that lowers the volatility. So if individuals see RHINO and say, you know what, it goes up a little bit, it goes down a little bit, sometimes there's a little bit of volatility if people are selling. But if you take a step back, anyone that's been in it for a period of time is quite happy, then it allows people to say, well, duh, if that's the case, then I would like to be in RHINO for a long period of time because I can see that those people are happy. So those are the shareholders we want. That doesn't mean we don't want other shareholders. Everyone, have fun, buy, sell, knock yourself out. I like the daily volume. You need volume, you need liquidity. So you're helpful to Rhino, but making sure you capture a profit in a 2 or 3 day stretch is nowhere near my concern. My concern is the people that are in Rhino, will their funds continue appreciating? Are they safe? Can they consider them retirement oriented? That's my concern, and that's what I'll always defend. So that being said, what we did was, okay, let's take a step back. We realized that these numbers are staggering. We realized we're not getting over 350. We realized we kind of exhausted the goodwill and the amount of people that are in Rhino that want to be part of this program. Let's identify why. All right, well, experience, education, trust. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a platform that goes ahead and duplicates all those feelings, that goes ahead and offers those feelings to individuals that are completely new to us. How do we do that? Then we developed RHINOHUB. Well, what's the value proposition? What's going to get people off their butts and say, hey, I don't know who you are, but let me go ahead and join you? Well, we took advantage, or we took a look at the economy and said, all right, listen, with the advent of AI, it's the most exciting gold rush that's out there right now. There is a real gold rush, and companies can't even keep up because they don't have anyone to hire from. Colleges don't have curriculum already for this, so they have to hire people with foundational knowledge. The overwhelming majority of population is wildly undereducated. I don't think you're going to go to the grocery store and see a grocer that's like, yeah, I created a blockchain yesterday, and that's fine. That's not what they do. So what companies are saying is, well, the gold rush is now. I can't wait for colleges to create this curriculum. AI teaches itself new stuff all day. Let me go ahead and create the curriculum. I'll put it out there for free. I'll put certifications. And if people want to work for us at Salesforce or Microsoft or Facebook or Google, then they'll take our certifications. We'll develop our own talent pool and we'll hire from there. Okay, well, that sounds really great. That's free. We could go ahead and take that stuff, put together a program and walk people through it. We happen to be pretty smart. We could get people to pass the test. In fact, in the last week, Rhino has passed every single test so far. So you know what that means for everyone that's been part of RHINOHUB? They've passed every test so far too. We're 1/3 there. And in that program, since we made it a membership, we made it a metropolis, we made everyone in one spot, after a week, after 2 weeks, do we think the individuals that are part of Rhino are now saying to themselves the things that the people in Rhino have been saying? Well, I like these people. I can trust them. This is pretty good. Look how hard they're working. I'd like to be part of this further. And what we've seen is already 9 have opted into Rhino Wealth. Already 2 have opted into Rhino Email. We haven't got to Promptology. I know at least 1 that wants to opt into it. But these are completely new revenue streams that didn't exist. We have our bot that we're duplicating out, and we're going to create a code and craft for anyone to go ahead and rent it out for $5 a week. That's completely unique and personalized to their websites, to their businesses. Do I think a lot of people will do that? Sure. Do I think people that after we go ahead and show how successful RHINOHUB has been and how much money it's generated on a weekly basis per person, they'll want to go ahead and white label it for themselves, knowing that we're the ones doing all the work and they'll just collect 80% of like a franchise type of thing? Yeah. All of this is still coming down the future. Because we took that step back and realized what we needed to do, everything that I just shared to you is the future. So what I said to the gentleman in the email was, you're welcome to sell as much as you want, whenever you want. Like, I'm never going to tell you when to buy, when to sell. That's, again, because I have a market background, there's certain things of a market that I'll always defend, even to whether it benefits me or not. A market has to always allow you to buy and sell. Always, always, always. So if it means, oh my God, I know someone's going to sell and Rhino's going to get hit 10 cents tomorrow, I'd rather that than someone saying, yeah, I want to sell, but I couldn't. That's what destroys a market, right? So what I said was, that's all coming in the future. And to the point that many people have asked me, and I think maybe I didn't get this point across. I know there was a doctor that was on this Saturday that, anyway, Anthony, grow up. You don't need to kind of point everything out. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, I talk to myself. I'm a Gemini. Everything we do goes to Rhino Bucks, which is why everything's recurring. So Rhino email is $1 a week. As you can see, we just got over 10,000 email opens. We started with 5,000 email opens 4 months ago. That means we have 5,000 new individuals every day that are opening our emails. Has anyone seen a Rhino ad on Facebook lately? I haven't. Has anyone seen a Rhino ad on Google or anywhere? No. Those are strictly from our email program, which we've developed, and we said we'll share with everyone. $1 a week, why not? Rhino Wealth, anyone get into the last research? AbbVie, that was up 145% in 3 days. Well, 9 people did. For $5 a week, there's many people that made over a couple of $1,000s. They just paid for Rhino Wealth for the next 5 years. And to the point, many say, well, Anthony, you should really sell things for a little bit more expensive. I have no intention of doing that. I don't care to sell things because of what they're worth. I care to go ahead and sell things strictly to go ahead and keep a flow of funds coming to Rhino Bucks, so that when individuals decide to sell 300 for whatever reason, or when individuals decide to sell for anything, that the other individuals that see it say, oh, it's sold, somebody could sell, that was a large amount, great. But look, it rebounded. There is buying that continues to come into it, so that people can say, okay, well, now that I could see a higher level of confidence, I could put in a higher level of money. And the higher level of money is long-term money, which goes ahead and fortifies it even further. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what a market is, and that's what we're always going to do. So that's kind of a little commentary on the market. And by the way, I completely reserve the right to defend the market at any time. Like if I see all of a sudden someone's going to sell 10,000 and do 1,000 a day or whatnot, I will supply the market so much that I will fortify it beyond belief. And that person will say, well, I'm not going to sell at this price anymore. And that person might say, well, that's a little bit unfair to me. I don't defend the individual that wants to make a quick profit over the individuals that are part of a long-term market. And I say that very transparently and outright because I want everyone to know that that this is what I will do. I will always defend the people that are part of the market long-term. Since December 3rd, Rhino coin is the same price today. Bitcoin is up 50%. Michael Haverson. Since December 3rd, I think Bitcoin was what, 16,000. So if you're going to pick the exact point that it was at the lowest and then go ahead and reference the price, we could play that game. Let's have a little bit of fun. Since October 17th, Rhino is up 400%. Bitcoin is up 13%. Do we want to cite those numbers? You see, numbers and statistics can be manipulated for the benefit of the person sharing them. It's kind of like the global warming crowd, right? If you tell me that the temperatures have been up this much over this period of time and not over this period of time, that's a very different thing. In fact, do you know how many people believe Microsoft is the worst stock in the world? You know why? Because they owned it in the year 2000. You know how many people think Microsoft is the best stock in the world? You know why? Because they owned it since the year 2002, right? So you gotta know the statistics. Exactly. Thank you, Maurice. So let me go, because I feel like I'm a little extra energized today. And I do actually have hours of stuff that I need to do. Also, Rhino Store, I did not get a chance to touch it this weekend. I am going to do it. For RHINOHUB, after week 1, I went ahead and took every question and answer from all the different curriculums. I then put it into the format of Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. And now I'm taking the instrumental version of the song, putting it behind it, and I'm creating a 10-minute, you can listen to it, memorize the words, memorize the lyrics, because that's what I did as a kid. And now all of a sudden, anyone that completed week 1 is going to have a certain amount of mnemonics. Numbers of members keep falling. Mike, the number of members right now is 344. The all-time high, I think, was 353. And actually 9 of them are Rhino Wealth, 2 of them are Rhino Email, and I know of more that are coming. And everything that I just said, which I don't know if you're trying to have the gotcha or if you're just sharing in good faith. So I'm just going to assume you're a good guy because I've always known you to be a good guy. Everything that we're doing with RHINOHUB is designed to bring those individuals in. But it has a certain lag. We're not going to bring someone into RHINOHUB and then day 1 say, hey, remember we said that this thing was completely free? Now buy this. That's not what we're going to do. Nobody would ever trust us. We bring people into RHINOHUB. Right now it's day 8 of 21 days. You know when I'm going to start recommending that they take on premium products? Maybe around day 16, maybe around day 17, maybe day 21 when they go ahead and take their test. I'm going to say, hey, you passed. Why don't you purchase the certificate that we made for you? There are so many price points and points that we're going to offer people things, but it's never going to be day 1. So actually, this will be fun. So how about we have this conversation in a week? And if you see the numbers higher, you can cite Anthony since February 20th to 27th. But I do love you, Mike, because we've had, and by the way, the oldest of 6 boys in a big Italian family. My entire career has been sales in terms of speaking to investors or speaking to so-and-so. So I have really thick skin. You can always feel comfortable to kind of point at me. I'll do my best not to be aggressive back because I don't want to ever make someone feel like, oh, I don't want to say something because he'll, kind of bite me. But that being said, I'm right here, right? Like I'm live in front of 315 people. So I love you all. Let me get to work. We're going to stay the course. Michael, I absolutely adore you and I adore everyone. So thank you. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.